She actually left the relationship just one day out of the blue. She said, I'm done. There's nothing wrong with you. And she said this to many people, like there was nothing wrong with him. And it devastated this guy. It killed him. For the first year after the relationship, he was just not functional. And what happened was, even more so painful for him, was that she went back to her ex. She went back to her ex, who was probably trying to talk to her the entire relationship, encouraging her to do these things with him. And this ex traveled. He had a good lifestyle, and they actually went and traveled together for a period of time. They hooked up. They did whatever they did. I don't know all the details, but she had fun with him. But at some point, about a year and a half in, the ex completely dropped her. And then for another 6 months, she chased this individual. And after a year, the person that she left initially, he got over the breakup. It took him some time. It took him a year to get over it, but then he found a new girl, and then he actually started dating her very seriously. And so when she tried to come back to him, because that's what she did, she tried to come back, he didn't want her anymore. Until this day, that woman is single, and she's out here justifying it to herself, rationalizing. I know she's not happy because she tells people very close to her that she's not happy, and she missed out on the good guy.
So let's look at how women are losing men and how men are dating women and how women are crying about it. Like, it's actually funny if you think about it, right? Because nowadays it's not the same as how once it was. And women nowadays tend to think that grass is always green on the other side, you know? They think that they can do better. It's not until they actually go on the other side and check out the grass and they realize this is not likely. And when they try to come back, sometimes it ends up being too late. Now, the men that they left, that they thought, oh, I'm gonna go for a better opportunity on that side, but when they come back, they don't find that man still on the same spot where he left him. You know, he moved on. You know, he already found somebody to settle down with. He already forgot about her a long time ago, you know, and now she comes back all apologetically trying to get back with him, but it's too late. And then they end up being single and spending time being all alone and miserable, you know. But meanwhile, it's their fault for ruining a good thing that they had going on, right? So in this video, we're going to explore more on how women are screwing up when it comes to dating, all right? So make sure you click that like button, subscribe, and let's go.
You have a girlfriend? No. Been single for 8 years. You know why? She broke my heart. She was amazing. I thought about her yesterday.
So when you meet a new girl,
Yeah.
do you compare her to your ex? Is your ex hard to beat?
Like, damn, you can tell my boy is actually going through it. Like, look at his facial expression, you know? He's looking like he is having a tough time right now. And it's all to do with dating, you know? And here's the one thing I gotta pinpoint. I don't know why men tend to do this, but whenever they're dating, right? Once they break up with their partner, it's really hard for them to move on. You know what I mean? Because they invest so much into it, right? They're not like people who can just jump in partner to partner. Some men, they put their all into it. And when things don't work out, bouncing back becomes really difficult. You know, they have to pick themselves from the ground up. And when they finally manage to do it, it can be a beautiful thing. But for the most cases, while they're trying to do that, they end up comparing everything they do, or even their new partners, they end up just comparing them to their ex. You know, they see their ex everywhere and everything they do, all activity, other people they date, even when they go out, they just are so attached to their partners that when the breakup hits, it's actually hard for them to bounce back, right? Like, they could literally meet a good woman who would treat them like a king, who would treat them the way they deserve to be treated, but for some reason they're so attached to their ex that all they see, think, smell, feel is their ex. You know what I'm saying? And this ends up being unfair for that new person because now they have shoes to fill in, right? Some of them, they can't even fill in those shoes because the gap is too huge, you know. But this case is my guy here, he needs to actually drop all this shit and he needs to actually move on. You know, you can literally see it in his face. It's written all over, right? He's going through some tough time right now. At least he's not bitter about it, right? Some people be bitter, but at least he's still giving credit to her. But at the same time, he needs to stop talking about her altogether and he needs to actually focus on the healing part and actually moving on, because otherwise this talking and comparing and keeping doing this shit is hindering his progress, right, on moving on.
This girl, she was a little older than me. I was 25 at the time. I think she was maybe 31 or 32. We FaceTimed beforehand and it was cool. She looked like she was the real deal, you feel me? I met her, she kind of scared me a little bit. Like, she was like, had like really dark makeup on, like really black lipstick and like a fishnet with like a big blazer and like these big old clunky rocker boots. And I was just like, all right. But I mean, that's her style. It was cool. And then we went to the restaurant and she was like very controlling. Like, I tried to, you know, order my food. She took the menu from me and he's gonna have this and yada yada, and like, you know, I felt like I just couldn't even talk because she was doing everything for me. Maybe she was trying to show affection, But I took it as like, I can't even do something on my own with you. So after that, I just was like, nah, I'm good. I didn't talk to her again. The second time, I met a girl in Itaewon. On her Tinder pictures, like, she looked like she had like serious curves, right? When I met her, she was just way too big for my liking, bro. I was just like, whoa. And then she had the nerve to say, like, do I look like my pictures? And I was just like, yeah, yeah. And there's no offense to the big women out there, you know, like y'all need love too, but that's just not my preference.
The second video, yo, my guy here is smart, bro. He got the brains. You can tell, bro. You know what I'm saying, right? So I mean, it's unfortunate he went on 2 dates and they all ended badly. But all I gotta say is like, yo, for the first one, you dodged a bullet. This woman is psycho. I can already tell. I can smell it, bro. One I find curious about this is, yo, you met up with her and you found something odd the way she dressed. That set you off a little bit, but I'm curious as to why you even went on a dinner date with her to begin with. Like, were you down bad enough that you just decided to accept like however she presented herself, like with all this dark makeup, gothic looking? Like, come on, my boy, like you should have took a turn the first time you spotted. You know, this is why I always say, man, it's always good to have options, you know, because you just don't want to settle with something that you're not into. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to have the expectations of going to meet somebody and then somebody else completely different turns up and you're still just going with the flow. You know what I mean? Nah, you don't want that, right? You want to be able to say right off the bat, if this person you're into, then yeah, you will stick it out. If you're not, then you leave. Save yourself the trouble of even going to the restaurant. So you see, man, right off the bat, this first moment, she just gave you a hard time, man. She's trying to be controlling right off the bat. You guys are not even a couple. That's what I find remarkable, right? She's trying to control you, trying to take the menu, trying to order for you. Come on, boy. You dodged a bullet, I tell you, because this could have been really worse. Now, as for the second chick, man, this is really apparent on online dating. That's why you guys gotta be careful. When you start seeing pictures of the people you're swiping on, only their face pictures, and you don't see the body picture, that's a red flag. You already know they're covering up, right? And it's already an issue on their end. And especially when they start asking you questions about how they look, you know, they know exactly how they look. They just want you to tell them. And the fact that you're sugarcoating it, you're just telling her a complete lie, bro. You know what I'm saying? She literally knows that she gotta lose her weight, boy. Her self-esteem is so low right now that she needs a compliment from you to just cheer her up a little bit. But you know what? I get it. You don't want to upset her, so you lie to her. But at the same time, boy, I feel like, yo, these dating apps, man, they should make it a mandatory for people to be listing their weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I respect some girls because they actually tell you, yo, I'm chubby in real life or I'm ugly in real life. At least you know what you're walking into. It's even better, I find, if a woman presents themselves a little bit below average looks and everything. Therefore, when you end up meeting with her and you find out she's actually way good looking than her pictures, like her pictures don't even do her justice, her bio doesn't even do her justice. That's what I like the most, not the other way, you know, where you like the pictures, you like what you see, but then you meet up and it's a total catfish. Nah, boy, we don't like that. So these dating sites, they need to come up with something to fix this type of shit, because it's more common than you think, you know.
I'm almost 29.
What do you think the way you're dressed right now communicates to men?
I don't know, I guess not your norm in Miami, right? Like, look around right now. No one's dressed like this.
How are they dressed around here?
The women I'm looking at right this second, they all have like really tight see-through dresses, really short, really skimpy, which I have skimpy clothes too, by the way. I'm not knocking it, but I don't know. I feel like this is a little more conservative.
Well, how do you feel men look at you when you dress conservative as opposed to skimpy, provocative?
I personally feel, and this is not a fact, but I personally feel that when men see me and I dress like this versus like a sexier outfit, they approach me differently. Different kinds of men approach me more to my liking. And I think it's natural for a man to look at a woman that dresses like more conservatively and to view her in a more modest way.
Now this next video, yo, this girl totally made a point, you know. All I gotta say is, man, women that are dressed conservative, definitely they may not get the attention that they deserve, right? Like, especially on a night out. A lot of men out there have fun, boy. So they're looking for what catches their eyes. And those women that are dressed in mini skirts, mini dress, that they're showing off everything, of course, they know what the men want. That's why they dress like that. And the men are just looking for fun. They're not gonna take them serious. They look at them like they're for the streets. That's why the men are out, you know. But at the end of the day, All I gotta say is the women that are conservative and they dress more modest and appropriate, those are the ones who are more likely to get a long-term kind of relationship with. You know what I'm saying? That's when a man is looking to settle down with, then yeah, he will come to you. But on a Friday night, Saturday night, when he's out there, he's just thinking about getting laid. He's not really thinking about wifing up nobody. Matter of fact, it's the men that be running away from their wives and running away from their homes, that they go to the streets to try and pick up a young, fresh bimbo. You know what I'm saying, right? But this is not to discourage those women who are dressing modesty and appropriate and carrying themselves nice to stop doing what they're doing, because you guys gotta remember, what you dress speaks volume. It says a lot about you, right? So at the end of the day, if you don't want to be treated a certain way, you don't be dressing like that. And if you want to be treated another way, then dress the way you want to be treated, right? Because this is non-verbal. You don't gotta say nothing. A man just has to look at how you're dressed, and he automatically knows what type of person you are, right? So if you're trying to present yourself in a good light and as an appropriate woman, then yes, dress appropriate. If you're trying to present yourself like as a one-night kind of girl, then dress like a skank, you know, do your thing.
What the f happened to your window?
Somebody tried to steal the car.
What the hell, when?
Earlier today.
Today?
Yeah,
Why you ain't call me?
because you're not my man.
I bought it for you.
So,
How you get it back?
I was with Dante when it happened, and he figured dude and his boys took it, and he was right.
Why were you with Dante?
That's what you asking me? Not if I'm okay or if I'm traumatized?
You don't look too traumatized to me.
Whatever.
Hold on. All right. Why were you with Dante?
I wasn't with him. He just so happened to be in my new plug spot.
I thought Duda was your plug.
He is, and he will be until my new harvest comes in.
You growing your own shit now?
Yeah. Keisha ain't tell you?
Nah.
Well, I thought she would have.
Well, she didn't. I still think you should have called me.
You not my protector no more.
Now look at this little scene here, right? On this next video here. You know, I feel like men have to have a backbone at some point. Like, you cannot just be doing everything for the sake of your partner. Do not always try to please your partner, you know? You can tell here my guy is so concerned about this woman, and she gives zero flying shit about him, you know? He bought her a car, you know, the car had issues, whatever, somebody broke in. She didn't call him, and he's pretty pissed off about it, you know? He's like, yo, I bought you the car, why don't you call me for help? Like, you know, she's treating him like shit automatically. She's telling him like, yo, I don't like you, you know, like, I don't vibe with you like that. Like, you know, she's really disrespecting him to a whole nother level, but he's sitting there eating it, you know? And finally at the end here, he gets a name of some guy that she's been chilling with, and he's concerned, why are you chilling with him? And now she's coming up with all her bullshit, you know, trying to victimize herself, like, you're only concerned about him, you know, you don't care about my safety, all this. Like, why would he care about your safety if you didn't even call him when this situation went down? You know what I'm saying? I think this goes both ways. If you want him to care about your safety, you should have called him the first second that your car was broken into. Then yeah, you know what I mean, right? Like, he has to come and find out that this shit happened to you, and on top of that, you've been chilling with another dude behind his back. Like, you know, it tells me like he was probably trying to win you over, and that's why he's doing all these things. But at the end of the day, men gotta stop doing this. I don't know why men tend to think that the more shit they buy for the woman, the more they're gonna buy her love for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't work like that. You know, at the end, at this point, I would tell her, yo, give back my car, and then just bounce. Because at the end, you know, she already knows she doesn't mess with it. But yet, why is he putting himself in a situation where he's spending on her, he's investing in her, but he's not getting his return of investment back? You know what I mean, right? So men gotta stop doing this, bro. But this is what happens when we are genuinely nice. You know, when a man is genuinely nice, he will actually do things to help you out because he genuinely cares. But then you have the other end of the spectrum of women just take, and they don't give a shit. They don't even say thank you. Matter of fact, they even end up disrespecting you. So at the end, this has to stop. Men should only be giving that type of attention as they're getting back. You know what I'm saying, right? Like, if he's getting good attention from some woman, whatever, yeah, and then okay, you can add value into her life, or you know what I'm saying, you can gift her something you want, you can help her with a car, you can help her with this, but she has to be returning some form of investment back to you, whether it's by attention, communicating with you, or whatever it is. You know, you shouldn't be going searching for her to give you answers to your questions. You know what I mean? So these are the type of games that the women play, you know, and the best way to win them is just don't join them, you know. Don't join them on their own game. Let them play by themselves.
There's a girl I knew in college that dated a guy for 4 years, and this guy was amazing. He was really good to her, and she was really good to him for the relationship in itself. But one day she realized that she didn't want to be in a relationship anymore. She just decided that motherhood and settling down and marriage and having kids just wasn't what life was all about for her. And so she actually left the relationship. Just one day, out of the blue, she said, "I'm done. There's nothing wrong with you." And she said this to many people, like there was nothing wrong with him. And it devastated this guy. It killed him. For the first year after the relationship, he was just not functional. And what happened was, even more so painful for him, was that she went back to her ex. She went back to her ex, who was probably trying to talk to her the entire relationship, encouraging her to do these things with him. And this ex traveled. He had a good lifestyle, and they actually went and traveled together for a period of time. They hooked up. They did whatever they did. I don't know all the details, but she had fun with him. But at some point, about a year and a half in, the ex completely dropped her. And then for another 6 months, she chased this individual. And after a year, the person that she left initially, he got over the breakup. It took him some time. It took him a year to get over it, but then he found a new girl, and then he actually started dating her very seriously. And so when she tried to come back to him, because that's what she did, she tried to come back, he didn't want her anymore. Until this day, that woman is single, and she's out here justifying it to herself, rationalizing. I know she's not happy because she tells people very close to her that she's not happy, and she missed out on the good guy. She let that go. And when she was young and when she was attractive, she spent all her time trying to chase the bad guys and trying to tame them instead of really focus on settling down with the good guy. And she regrets it. She really does, because she tells people that were close to her that she wishes she could go back to this individual, and she regrets the decision that she made. And my heart, it aches for her. It really hurts to see this happen, because in no part of me do I want her to suffer. I think that things would have worked out beautifully for them, but unfortunately she made the decision that she wanted to make because she felt like at the time in her life she wanted more. And that greed, a lot of time, that idea of validation and verification and the desire to just go do things that are fun will cause you a lifestyle of misery in the future, because you missed out on the one good thing that was really loyal to you and really good for you. So I encourage a lot of young women, if you find the good guy, stay with him. Because you can go try to tame all these bad boys and have fun, but if you get out of the period of time where your sexual agency is very high, your ability to negotiate in the dating marketplace drops significantly, precipitously. And then you're found in a situation where you can't find the good guy anymore, or the good guy that you want, because they're just not interested in you anymore. They're typically all taken, especially after 30. Number two, all the good guys are going for girls that are very young and that have no history and that haven't done all those things and those experiences. And last but not least, you may have baggage, you may have trauma from all the bad boys that you try to tame, and you may have trust issues that prevent you from really starting a good, healthy relationship.
So like this next video here, just like I've said before, oftentimes good men are right in front of these women, but these women, they don't realize that, you know, that there's something in their little brain that tells them like, yo, they can do better. There's something way better out there, right? And then they end up leaving a good thing. They don't realize that what they have is actually a good thing. There is nothing better than this out there, you know, but then they think likewise, right? Then they end up leaving a good thing. They go out there, they get hurt, and then they realize, this is not it. And then they try to crawl back. But by then it's too late, because then these men, you think they're just going to be sitting there waiting for you to come back? You think they're just going to be posted for 5-10 years the same spot, not moving? No, hell no. Life keeps going, man. So, you know, they end up moving on. They end up forgetting you, and then you try to reappear in their life like it's gonna work. Oh no, you just did yourself dirty. You shot yourself in the foot, you know. So on this story here, completely makes sense. This woman definitely, you know, she fucked up. You know, if she had somebody who could have guided her and told her, hey, what you're about to do is the biggest mistake, then he could have saved her a little bit. But up to now, this is the problem with women. They will not own up to their shit. She's probably victimizing herself and feeling sorry for herself without realizing she was at fault in the first place. Because if she hadn't done what she did, she would have been happy right now. She would have been probably married, kids, you know, living the life that her man is living with another woman. You know, instead of the other woman, it would have been her. But at that time, it didn't seem like it was a perfect match for her. She thought, like, you know, she's just gonna go mess around with her ex, who probably even has another woman besides her, you know, and the ex just escaped his relationship for a second to just go mess around with her again, and then to go back to the relationship and just kick her on the curb. Now she wants to go back to my dude. Yeah, you're gonna be single for a bit, But luckily, good thing is you learned. And another great thing here, I gotta pinpoint is, I'll give her credit for the fact that she didn't go cheat behind his back. You see, my man didn't have to find the harder way, you know, because she was up straightforward with her feelings of how she felt, and she decided to break up the relationship to pursue the other one, which is good, you know. I respect that. At least you're upfront with it. The worst is when they start cheating, doing it behind your back, and then you end up having to find it by yourself. It's like you're pulling teeth to find these answers that, yo, she want to be with somebody else, whereas she could have just told you in the first place, but she went and did sneaky link shit, and she got caught in the act, and then you find out she was never into you, you know. So I respect her for being upfront and honest about it, you know.
Are you two a couple? Are you two a couple? Would you mind telling me the story of how you first met?
She was working at Jackson's Ice Cream. I got hired there. I'm leaning back on a counter. Out of nowhere, this light-skinned girl just came up and hugged me. No woman can't beat this one. Like, she heals me. Like she healed me a lot. I was doing terrible stuff I don't want to say. She even does this. So, but you know, this my queen here. This my everything. This my love.
What was it about him that made you go up to him?
I don't know. I don't know.
Don't cap. Don't cap.
The minute.
Hey, don't cap. Don't cap.
What?
Don't cap. Go ahead, tell him. Yeah.
The minute I laid eyes on him, I felt like a yin and yang. It was good and bad, but it was very intense. I knew I had to come up to him and talk to him. I knew I liked him.
She keeps shit 100, like she don't sugarcoat. People love to sugarcoat and not tell her what it is. But she always gonna tell me what it is and what it ain't. You feel me? And I love that. I'm all about respect, and I respect that shit. She never lied to me, not once. I love her. I'm eventually in love with her, and I hope she feel the same way. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, baby, yeah.
Oh, all right.
What are you two most excited for in the future?
You say that first. I ain't saying that.
Of course. Baby.
Now this next video, bro, all I gotta say is, my boy, like, it's good to see you happy, you know, you're smiling, you're in love right now, you know. But I can tell this is like the honeymoon phase. This is like the beginning stages. All I can say is I think you love her a little bit too much more than she loves you, bro. You're giving her like 110%. I can see this, and she's giving you like maybe 70%. You know, I'm not saying she doesn't like you, but she doesn't like you as much as you like her. Like, I can see, bro, you are investing so much. This is the type of situations where if you guys were to break up, this man will suffer for a long time. You know why? Because he is giving everything he has, all his energy, effort, everything he's giving it into this. So if she ends up screwing up, whatever, this is the type of man that will be unpredictable what he does next, you know. Like, once they break up, he's gonna feel like his whole world is done. There's nothing else worth for him to live for. These are the type of men that end up being really dangerous and doing reckless shit. So what I gotta say is, man, tune down. You gotta tune down your little love, what you got going on, and just focus on other things. Have other things going on in your life, you know. Keep yourself preoccupied with other things. Still have your relationship there, but do not be giving this much of attention, this much of energy. Because I can see you're even, the fact that you're referencing about how she saved you. How did she save you? Matter of fact, you should be talking to God. You're treating her like she's a god right now, you know. God is the only person who saved you. So I don't know how you could be putting her at a position that is almost higher than God. This won't end well, man. But I hope it doesn't end for you guys. But I can tell it won't end well, you know. And especially this type of affection should actually be the other way around. The woman is supposed to be the one who's so infatuated by you, and you're supposed to act like she's acting towards you. You see what I'm saying? You guys kind of reverse your roles a little bit. You're a little bit acting way more than she is acting, but she's supposed to be acting the way you're acting. You know what I'm saying?
He's not annoying you, wanting to see you more, pestering you about more time, always trying to get your attention.
She's getting somewhere else, guaranteed, bro. Somewhere else, either another guy, social media, going out with girls to like show off. It's just like, bro.
She needs to be clingy, bro.
Yeah.
If she's not clingy, that's a problem. That's a problem, man. That's so insecure. She has her own. Shut the fuck up, bro.
This clingy part, you know what? These boys are not wrong here when they talk about it, right? Especially in the first 3 months. You guys gotta keep an eye on your current partner's energy, you know? The first 3 months will tell you what you need to know. this is the honeymoon phase, right? This is when your woman, you know, she's all nice, she's behaving, she's good, everything is great, you know. But in this 3 months, it will teach you on how they behave versus 6 months to a year later, you know. So you guys can tell, like, halfway into the relationship, women will kind of switch their energy. They won't be behaving like how they used to. Maybe at the beginning they were like calling you, wondering where you are, what you're doing. It's a little bit of annoying, but at least you know that they're obsessed with you to some extent, you know. But later on, she starts switching that energy and she's acting like you, kind of like nonchalant. She's not really calling you much, she's not texting you much. She's just keeping up to herself. Like, you already know there's somebody else she's doing this with, you know what I'm saying? So all I gotta say to those guys that think that their women are toxic or their woman is annoying and clingy, it's like, bro, at least right now you have a confirmation she is obsessed with you. So you know that she ain't screwing around, you know. But when she stops giving you this type of energy, you know, she's giving it to somebody else out there. And this relationship is on the verge of breaking up. So that's all I gotta say, man. These boys, they nailed it right, man. They nailed it correct over here. And it's actually, if you don't look at your own relationship and don't look at the energies, you're in for a surprise, my boy. You're gonna be surprised to find out that she had some other side dude for like a year. You know, that's why she's been acting all cold to you and stuff like that, you know. So you guys gotta decipher this on your own. You gotta judge your own relationships and ask yourself, is she acting how she was acting the first 3 months, 6 months, a year? Is she acting the same or is she different, you know? And this is like, a lot of couples are the same as well, right? Like the first year, maybe, you know, they're really intimate. Then a couple years down the road, they stop even being intimate. Some even start sleeping in separate bed. That's how you know, like, how bad the relationship is. Like, the relationship is dead at that point. At that point, it doesn't even make any sense of why you guys are still together. I mean, I guess unless you have children and all, and you're doing it for the sake of the kids, you don't want to, you know, break up and affect them mentally. Okay, I get that. But at some point, I'm pretty sure you guys have realized that what you guys are doing is meaningless. Like, this relationship has long been done, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, that's the video. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, comment what you all thought about it, and pop in the house. Catch you next time.